Hi, my name is Maggie Foster, and today I will be talking about high-stakes testing. So what is high-stakes testing? High-stakes testing is all of your SATs, your ACTs, your STAR tests, your benchmarks, things like that. Benchmarks not as much, but really those first three, it's things that determine so many things, like whether the students move on to your next grade level, whether the teachers are able to retain their jobs, rather the teacher gets a bonus, and rather the district or school gets punished. So it's all these tests that go back to the government, and they determine all these things based on just a test score. They're not looking at other things. They're not looking at how the teacher's doing. They're not looking at how the student's doing. They're not looking at what else is going on in your life. They are simply looking at the scores. It affects mental health of the children because so many students have testing anxiety. And the Center for American Progress commissioned a poll that indicates that 49% of responding parents are concerned that students are experiencing too much standardized testing. So these are parents that live with the students every day. They hear about all the things that go on in their lives. They hear about all the things that go on during their day, and they are watching their children go through this stress and emotions of having this test that really doesn't accurately describe and depict their education and smartness. So the Northwest Evaluation Association in 2014 found that 70% of teachers surveyed that they focus on high-stakes testing takes too much time away from learning, which brings us into the next topic. But I wanted to pause on this real quick and just talk about the children's mental health for one more second. 35% of students have moderate, high, or severe testing anxiety. I personally struggle with testing anxiety, and it's so bad that I have panic attacks in class when I'm forced to take these standardized tests. So up until about 9th grade, when it got easier for me, I was having horrible testing anxiety because I knew exactly what was on the test. I'm smart, but as soon as I got into those classes, I didn't know what was going on, and I didn't know what was on that test, even though in reality I did know. There's so many different things that go on with it, and even just here on the bottom you see testing anxiety data of a 3rd grader. These children are so young, and they're still dealing with it, and 3rd grade is the first year that you start standardized testing. So I want to be a teacher, and I personally don't even want to teach up until 3rd grade because of the standardized testing. I want to teach kinder through 2nd grade because they don't have standardized testing. So you're allowed to teach exactly what you need to teach and what is supposed to be taught in school. Because as a teacher, you go through school for 4 years and you learn about all these things, and you learn how to teach to the full student. And teaching to the test, you're not allowed to do this anymore because of these tests. So you're forced to teach exactly what's on the test. According to the demographiceducation.org, a 3rd grade teacher is quoted as saying, "The prepping for the test takes a long time. Instead of possibly doing projects or more hands-on learning, we really focus on the testing format and preparing our students to be comfortable taking the test. The prepping starts at the beginning of the year and ends in April." This takes up the entire school year. And instead of teaching them life skills and things that need to be learned in classrooms besides just the curriculum, because that's what you're taught to do in the 4 years that you go to be a teacher, you're just teaching what's on the test, and that's just not fair to the students. I like this one down here. It says, "We will test you, and if you do poorly, we'll fire your teachers." And the student comes back with, "Is there any proof that it'll improve my school?" And she said the question is not on that test. It just shows how much stress is being put on the students. It also, on top of all of that, in case that wasn't enough for you to cancel the test, it's not measuring what counts. According to the IDEA, which is a company that is against standardized testing and shows you exactly why, employing standardized testing achievement tests to a certain education quality is like measuring temperature with a tablespoon. It's not measuring what counts because there's so many different things that can go into having a bad day or having a bad test score. Like having a bad day. Like things going on at home. Like corona. The students that are you're taking it now are going to have lower scores than if they took it last year or the year before because they had full school. They're not online anymore. I really like this picture because it really depicts exactly how unfair these tests are. It says, for fair selection, everyone has to take the same exam. Please climb that tree. Obviously, the monkey and the fox are going to have an easier time climbing it than the elephant and the fish. This test is so broad for such a out there different groups of people. My brother personally struggles with dyslexia, and this is one of the things I really liked. It says sometimes the most brilliant and intelligent students do not shine in standardized tests because they do not have standardized minds. There are so many different ways that brains work, and this is trying to force them to think one way. Here's some of my citations. And so today we talked about how it affects a student, how it affects the teacher, and how, above all, it just isn't measuring what's right. So today I want to leave you with something to think about. Did you really think that the SAT was an accurate depiction of how smart you are? Is that really how you want the entire state to see you?